Do this shit until they murder me.
Hey baby girl, Phoenix. Hey baby girl. Good girl. Hey everyone, back again with another video. I wanted to do a video on some stuff that some people have been asking me about and answer some questions. Mainly just stuff that I get comments on, or I get emails either on the site or either on the channel or through Instagram or Facebook. So actually it's hot out. It's like 100 degrees out here in Nevada. So even right now at like 8:30, 8 o'clock at night. So I got this so I can towel myself off. Otherwise I'm going to be glistening in this video. First things first, actually, let me get it out of the way. I found a solution to my tensioner problem. I'm going to be using this this Heim joint left hand thread, right hand thread tensioner. I'm going to be using this to basically attach to the alternator and attach to a piece of metal. So that other bracket that I had, I wanted to get some thicker metal for it, but it's actually pretty expensive, like especially out here in rural Nevada. I'm not in Vegas anymore, so I don't have a metal shop to go to. So these here were 80 cents or 60 cents from Home Depot. These are bearing plates. I don't know if you can see there. Simpson Strong, whatever that is. Yeah, these are bearing plates and they're thick. They are hefty. And while I was looking for a 3-inch or 3.5-inch version of these, they have like 3-inch squares. None of the stores in Vegas or the one Home Depot in Pahrump carries it. So I'm going to be making this. I'm going to be welding this together. I just got a bunch just because it's so cheap, but I'm going to be welding this, a flat plate. So I think I'm going to be making the holes, the 3 holes that go into the water plate right here. And then I'm going to either weld this hole shut, or I'm going to be, because it's obviously, these are different diameters. They're way different. This one is way bigger. But either way, I found a solution for that. I haven't started on that yet. I've been a little busy. But so let's get to some of the questions. Some have been actually, you know what? Before we get to that, let me get to something that I need to address. I went and helped Mike in Vegas with something in his car, and you guys will find out soon what that was. So I don't know if this light can actually shine enough of what I'm doing. So while I was helping with that, they helped me with a power issue. So I was telling them that, and Mike was taking a look at my car. And I was telling him that I was having voltage issues and that I was having some problems with the alternator and basically, you know, my whole setup, and you guys know. So while I was helping with some other stuff, Mike and Carlos took a look at my car and they found some stuff in the wiring, or I guess my wiring setup, the way I have the power set up and the power distribution to one specific gauge inside the bay or inside the interior, which is my fuel lever, my fuel sender gauge, my fuel level gauge. Every other power, everything that gets 12 volts switched comes through here. And as you can see, I have my own little, like my main switched, and then I have all the other ones. The only one that isn't here is my fuel level. And the reason for that is because there was already a gauge there. There was an oil pressure gauge that I had in that spot, and I just used whatever 12 volt switch that was behind that, and it's not linked to this. So it's causing some definite power issues, because I'm drawing some of that power from here through a fusible link, as you can see through these like add a fuse. These are cool, but you know, when we disconnected this, all of my interior stuff, my everything, all the gauges went dark, and I got a solid 13 volts. Right now, it kind of fluctuates between 12 and 13. And I mean, like, fluctuates big time. So what they saw was, what I had done with my power distribution here was that I had a spacers here. And the reason for the spacers was I at the time, and I completely forgot about this when I did it because it just worked. I had a long bolt here, a long Allen bolt, and it wouldn't tighten all the way down. So I was like, oh, you know what? In the meantime, while I go get one, I'll just use washers so it can bottom out. Well, I completely forgot, and Carlos pointed out to me that is a voltage drop issue, and sure enough, like after we did that, tackled that, this was loose as well. They helped me with this, a few other things. But the biggest draw was, of course, the fuel gauge. So yeah, the fuel gauge itself is killing me in there. So I haven't addressed it yet, but I will. It's hot. Sorry, y'all. I want to be glistening on camera. I know I got a shaved head now, but it's hot out here. So I wanted to address that. Thank you so much, Carlos. Thank you so much, Mike. Chris, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be taking care of that soon. So some of the stuff that I wanted to address that people wanted to know about, that I get asked about is, and I seem to get asked this on every video, what transmission I'm using, and how do I like it in the K-Swap compared to the 3S, the 3S GTE. So I'm using this is a Cannibal kit swap. So it is not a full K-Swap. It doesn't use a Honda transmission. It uses the entire Toyota drivetrain, all of it. Every single factory piece. I didn't have to change anything. So with that, it is geared for, other purposes. It's a stock gearing. I didn't change anything. I like it a lot. It is it's an old transmission. It's from a 93 JDM swap. And it's just now, it's like 26 years old. 27, going on 27 actually, because it was manufactured in 92, sold as a 93. I think December of 92, I think, when I remember reading off the VIN. It is 26, 27 years old now, and the crunch that everybody hears that is starting to come from these older transmissions is starting to come a little bit in third, not like crazy, but you can hear just a little bit to where I notice it. And I'm starting to get a little bit of from third to fourth. If I shift from third to fourth coming down, it seems to want to stay there, and I have to pull it hard. Now, the C's shifter that I have installed helps with that immensely. But I love it. So for those of you that keep asking, I love the transmission. It's super solid. It can take a lot of abuse, and I've abused the hell out of it. I've had it for 7 years, and I love it. I mean, what do you want? There's no other transmission that you can throw in this factory-wise and can hold that kind of power. It can hold 700, 800 horsepower. From what I understand from what Eric Huck says, and a lot of the guys that do endurance racing with these MR2s, they find that high RPM shifts in this transmission a lot repetitively will kill it. So keep that in mind, guys. If you're doing that, if you're going to be doing a lot of road racing and stuff, that's something to consider. For you full K-Swap guys, though, that you're going to be doing Honda transmission stuff. So I know the stock stuff is terrible, so especially if you're going to go anything beyond 200 horsepower. But you can just throw a bunch of money at it and bulletproof your system. So I love it. I really, really do. The 3S GT, it's kind of the same. There's really, I think it has nothing. It doesn't affect power delivery. But I do like the power delivery on the K-Swap, on the K series versus the 3S. The 3S, even with a slightly smaller turbo, didn't outspool this. I love this. I love this thing. Maybe because it was a 2-liter versus 2.4, but even when I had a 500 horsepower motor, it didn't spool this fast. So that out of the way. The other question I get asked is about my tablet setup and how I have it mounted and all that jazz. Oh God, it's hot. All right, let me show you guys inside the interior. Okay, so this is the tablet which I've shown before, and everybody's always asked me how I have it mounted. I don't have it mounted. I have it wedged in between the clamshell, as you can see there, and the dash. So yeah, for those of you asking, where did you mount it? What's your power supply? Why don't you just get a whole dash display? Why? I understand the want for something like that, but this tablet cost me $50. It's an 8-inch Android tablet that I think AT&T used to offer, and I got it for $50 off eBay. Perfect condition. It's an octa-core. It runs super smooth. I only run the dash off this. I don't need it to do anything else. And the power I just have here, which actually should be connected right now. I just have it straight going to my cigarette lighter. So I have a USB port here, but also I have more down here that's coming straight off my radio. So I can run the gauges there as well, but I don't want to. If this ever goes out, if the battery dies for some reason, I can use that. So like, so I hope that answers your guys' questions. I don't have it mounted. This is just for ease for me, so I can take it out, so I can, you know, like if I want to update it, like, I mean, it updates if I just pull into the driveway, the Wi-Fi is already on. It automatically, I leave the car on, or I leave the tablet on for another 5-10 minutes to let it update, let it do its thing, and then I come back in and shut it off. But it's not hard mounted or anything, guys. I just spray painted, as you can see, the back gauges. None of them, I mean, some of them I think work. I'm not sure which ones now. I think it's just the RPM. I think just the RPM work. So other than that, like, that's not, I mean, it's pretty simple, guys. Oh, and I went back to my old steering wheel because I didn't like that wheel too much. It was a little too big and it felt a little flimsy. And this one's a lot more solid. I like these Grants. So this is actually like, so this is the gauge setup that I was talking about. This gauge right here, this is my fuel level setup, and this is the one that I need to tackle. So whatever this is getting power from, I need to strip it, need to terminate it, and I need to feed it power from that distribution block, and I need to ground it, because behind this I have my own like another block behind this, but for grounds, because I want everything to have a common ground so the voltage doesn't vary, especially for this, because this my air fuel ratio gauge, I have this going analog input into K-Pro, and I have one of the ECU grounds going all the way, like it's tethered, so it's like wherever the ECU is grounded in the engine bay, I have that also going all the way back here, so it gets common ground so that the voltage doesn't vary. And let's see, hold on one second, let me get out of the car. Okay, guys, I'm out of the car here. So another quick thing that I got asked the other day and that I wanted to touch on is whether these, in an MR2, whether these bars actually make a big difference in stiffness. And I mean, they come with something like that factory bolted to the front, and if you're a turbo, you have that X brace, but it's such a thin material that, I mean, it's not, I don't see it doing anything. And to be honest, I know it can help, and I know that there's like really thick braces out there with thicker material. They do, you know, of course they're gonna help, but I don't see a big difference. Like, one, if I track the car constantly, I could be able to tell you, like, yes, like I could just do a track day without them and with them, but that's further down the line. But as if you're daily driving the car, you're really not gonna feel the difference. You will feel the difference if you don't, like, you know, if you detach your sway bars, you'll tell. It'll suck. For racing, it'll be good, but for driving it every day, it's going to be a harsh ride. Let's see here. What else do I got? Oh, yes. I was asked the other day why I didn't go with a bigger fuel cell up front. And I thought I covered that in an old video, but I went with an 8-gallon because it's all that fits in here. And the reason for that is because I have power steering stuff in the back here. So power steering reservoir, power steering computers, all this stuff is power steering stuff. As you can see, power steering, and then this is where the battery would go, power steering pump, all this stuff. So all that's there. You can't put anything back there. I just can't. I wanted to move this further back and possibly get a custom one, but after looking at how much a custom box costs, I decided not to. I mean, it was literally going to be like $700 for something like that, and especially because I wanted to get something to take advantage of how low this area gets. I don't know if you guys can tell in the video, but this goes pretty low. When you see the battery, it's not even all the way at the bottom, but it goes pretty low. Because that's, you know, there's, from the factory, there's a spare tire there, so it's got to be it's diagonal, it's like this, so it goes down, and I wanted to get something to take up that space. So if you guys have money and you guys are going to be doing a K-swap and you want a fuel cell, that's something you can do, but yeah, I'm not doing that. So I initially bought a 10-gallon, didn't fit, way too big, it was hitting everything in the back, so I went with an 8-gallon just because it's so cheap, and it worked for me. So let's see what else I got here, guys. Okay, so last bit of thing that I was asked about is the Zenith RT615s. These are 275s, 4017s on a 17x10. And I was asked about the wheels as well. These are Saleen SC replicas from like the 90s Mustangs, and they fit without any spacers. I love them. This is a 17x9 plus 24 and a 17x10 plus 20. And I'm running at the moment, even though these are going away, this is a 215, what does it say? 215.40. I want to say it's a 215.45 or 215.40.17, and I hate it. It's a terror. I could not find, you cannot find 225 anywhere anymore. 225.40. They're like extinct. So I'm gonna be going with a much stickier tire for the front. Maybe a Nitto tire, a Nitto compound, because these I've already noticed some understeer, and they only have like 3,000 miles on them. But good thing is my girlfriend's car takes the same size, so they'll get some use. But I was also asked how I like the traction, and to be honest, since the K swap has a lot more linear power delivery instead of a holy crap, it's hitting all at once like a truck. It doesn't lose traction. I've lost traction a few times, and I think that I was hitting dirt or gravel, because every single time that I put the power to it, I just floor it, it just goes. And it hasn't, under normal circumstances, lost any grip. So I know you guys are like, well, you're only making 350, 400. Well, I know. But I know it's not a lot of power, but at 350 before with my 3S or 365, it was breaking the tires loose, and I had the same exact tires actually. It's because of the boost, which is coming in all at once. It wasn't like gradual build like this. I love how this builds boost. It doesn't just, like I see when I look at the logs, I can see a gradual steady climb versus a holy crap, like it's like 2,000, 3,000, boom, and then there it is. It's like it's a massive climb. It goes from like 1 or 2 psi to like 17, 18, and it's like, no wonder it hits like that. I mean, it felt cool on the street, but it was unusable power in first and second gear. But it doesn't, like, if you guys have a really good tuner, like Dennis at LDL, to tune my car and the boost and all that stuff. So he did a really good job, and I told him that I didn't want it to hit like that, even though at the moment, right before I got to tune, my hold on a second. Oh no, never mind. That the video shut off. My 4-port boost solenoid failed. And so I just went with the manual one, because I didn't want to be like, hold on, I gotta wait to tune. I can't tune now, because actually he was supposed to tune it on my birthday, and my birthday's Halloween, by the way. And he ended up tuning it. I dropped the car off on my birthday, and then he was like, no, go enjoy. And I'm like, crap, I set aside all this time. Well, whatever. So we tuned it the next day, and he did a great job. And like I said, if you guys have a great tuner, have them get your boost set up correctly. But everything else was perfect. So no, it does not break the tires loose. The compound is just fine for me, and I've actually driven it very spiritedly, and haven't had any issues. That's really it for now, guys. I know it's a pretty lengthy video, but I wanted to get some of that stuff out of the way, since I get a lot of this stuff, especially through Instagram. Keep the questions coming if you really need some help. This is the main Instagram account. I have a VegasBoost Instagram account, but I don't update it as much, because this one gets all of the updates, gets everything. So I might be using that later on down the line for something else, but for now, if you guys want to follow everything on Instagram, it'll be under this tag. So hopefully the next video that I have will be showing an update on this. I just need to get I just need to get my welder. I organized some now. Now that I have some storage space. I got another one. I got another 2 of these coming, actually, to help with storage space. So once that's done, I'll be able to do some more videos and get the garage space done, and then I can get started on my buddy's car. And there's another surprise coming. I know I told you guys that I bought another MR2, but that it's still not here yet. But I have another surprise for you guys. So hopefully another project. So hopefully we can get that up. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Have a good weekend. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Please like, subscribe. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Peace.